Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to AR Business Consulting, where we discuss all things business, all things entrepreneurship. Today, I want to share with you a quote by one of the old ancient writers that says, if you do not work on your dreams, someone else will hire you to make sure that their dreams comes to pass. And that's what entrepreneurs are all about. They're all about pushing for their dreams to become true. And today we have a special guest in the house. He is my old friend from Bushbuck Ridge, who is making waves in the business sector, was making waves in the education and training industry, and is none other than Hlayiseka Ngomane, who's the managing director of AR Business Consulting. I am going to invite him on stage to tell us more about his journey in entrepreneurship. Hi, Hlayiseka.
Hi, Nkhensani, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good.
Looking forward to hearing more about your journey as a businessman and how all of this began. So, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Nkhensani. I'm an old good friend of our entrepreneurship here, the man of the moment, our VIP, Mr. Ngomane. So can you just quickly tell us about yourself, who you are, what type of a family did you grow up from, your desire to do business, where did it all start? So I'm asking you 3 in 1.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you, Nkhensani, for welcoming me today. One cannot get used to this, but I'm gonna just try and be myself. Yeah, for those that don't know me, I am Hlayiseka Ngomane. I'm just a boy from Economic Timbabati. That's where I was born and raised, and later then moved to Tulamahanshi. I'm now married to one wife. I have 2 beautiful children, one daughter and one son. The daughter, she's 17. The son is 2 years old. So basically that's who I am and where I come from. And growing up, I didn't think I would end up in entrepreneurship. To me, it was like those things that I never thought it will come to me, because I was an academic. I wanted to always, work and maybe thought I would work for somebody, become maybe a doctor or an engineer or something in a professional space. So whenever entrepreneurship would cross my mind, or maybe see somebody trying to sell something, I would really look down on them and be thinking, that can't be me. Yeah. But you know how things are. Yeah. Sometimes, certain things that you thought you'd never do, you end up in it and really excel in it and really find out that was your calling all along. We're just trying to ignore it. So entrepreneurship just came looking for me. I didn't really want it.
Okay, so I always ask people that are doing well in business to say, is there somebody in your bloodline that is in business? Do you think you are the first generation of people that are passionate about business, or is it something that probably your grandparents started but it didn't go, or your parents started, it didn't really fly? Is it something that is running in your bloodline, or you're probably the first groundbreaker in your family?
I am the first groundbreaker in my family. Okay. Going back in other generations before me, there's nobody who went to entrepreneurship. So I am the first. So I'm really experimenting everything. So you can just imagine there's no leaf that was left for me to start anything. So everything I'm just starting from my own pocket and from my own understanding and knowledge.
Yeah. I must say you're doing well for somebody who is the first generation to go into business. I think you're doing well because there's no role model.
Yes.
But in fact, if you check most entrepreneurship or most entrepreneurs that are doing so well, there's somebody in the past that has started it. Chances are now that you've started, your kids are likely to follow, or your children's children are likely to follow, because you're breaking ground, you're starting something new that nobody has done in your family before, which is exciting, and you're building legacy as well. So congratulations on that one.
Yeah, thank you. And also when you're touching on that, you're reminding me, I think in my family, in everything that I've been doing all along, I become the first to do that. In my family, in my grandmother's claim, I was the first one to go to varsity, all my grandchildren. So to actually even attain a degree in that claim, I am the first one. So everybody else comes after I have done something. So I think I'm the one who said to open new boundaries.
You're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Wow. Some people call people like you trailblazers, groundbreakers. So you've got the grace to start something new and you open doors for others.
But it's not easy because, you know, if there was somebody else who started it before, it would be much easier for me when taking it from somebody. But then one has to start.
Yes, but the nice thing is that your kids will not struggle like you do.
I wish
and your grandchildren will not struggle like you. So you're building foundation. You know, there's a saying that says we are always standing on the shoulders of our previous giants, our families, our parents. So you are building foundation, you are building shoulders. Your kids will not have to stand from scratch, you know. They will just have to build up from where you have started, and which is amazing. That is a beautiful legacy that will outlive you, you know, will live forever. Which is amazing, and that's something that's exciting about business compared to somebody being an employee. You know, you will never hear of somebody that said, this one has been like the best employee 20 years down the line. It hardly happens, but with business outlives us, hence we call it legacy. So I want to clap hands for you on that one, snap for you on that one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I want us to tell us, from the time that you were growing up and you never saw yourself as a businessman, tell us about your journey. What happened? Where did things change for you when you finished your matric? Where did, you know, like things change for you and you decided, you know, I've done this? Because, you know, like the way we are living today, the trend is that you need to go to school, you need to go to varsity. If you're blessed to have that grace, after going to varsity, you need to find a job. After finding a job, you need to get married and have kids. There isn't really a blueprint for somebody that wants to go into business. Hence, when you do that, you're breaking the trend, and there's just a lot of risk. You know, everybody wants to play safe and, you know, get a job and get a permanent job, get married and be safe and play safe. And we don't really get to break limits that way, although we are safe, you know, and we're sort of like out of the poverty cycle, because then you're no longer under your parents' care. But I want you to tell us, for you, how was the journey? When did you decide, I'm breaking the trend, I know this is the norm, that you must go get a job? Where did it all start and where did it all change for you?
I think for me, let me just start from when I was in matric. Growing up, I wanted to be in the health science sector, meaning become a doctor or something along those ways. Lines on the medical side. But while doing matric, I then had a change of heart to say, no, I want to go to engineering. But I did not know which engineering that I wanted to go into. When I looked at other engineering, like your electrical, civil, and the likes of Mech Eng, I didn't really like it because it was straightforward to say this is what you're going to be doing. And I knew myself I'll get bored along the way. So I wanted something very diverse and intriguing, and something that you can really change along the lines if you get bored. So when I discovered industrial engineering, I went through the prospectus. I saw that that engineering was encompassing electrical, mechanical, management, accounting, quality, logistics, all of that. Then I said, this is it. This is me. This speaks to me. I don't want to be boxed in one box. And then this is what I'm going to study. I remember I told them at home to say, I'm going to be doing industrial engineering. And everybody was like, what is that? I said, this is me. I'm going to be doing this because I don't want, when I'm bored in the manufacturing, sector, and then I say what then. I want to be able to switch. Even if I want to go to the medical science, I can still go using the same qualification. Little did I know that with the same qualifications that I will be doing, it's also a part of business, because we did business management, we did project management, and that was to me a foundation into business. So hence I can say I didn't know that studying industrial engineering was gonna also help me to get to my passion, which is entrepreneurship, of which right now I'm at.
So how long did you work, and when did you decide I'm done working for a payslip, I'm done playing safe, I'm done pushing my dream aside, I'm done building somebody's dream, I'm done with playing it safe, I want to go out, I want to take the risk, because it's quite a risky thing to go into business. You never know if I go left, if I go right. Did you even have the capital to start? What happened? What made you decide, this is it, I'm resigning and I'm done, I'm out of here?
Funny part is my career has been one of the greatest so far that I've seen. I moved very fast. Up the ladder. I've worked 2 years as an engineer. After 2 years, I was promoted to being a manager, as a continuous improvement manager in Transnet. That was way back in 2012. And when you check, I was the youngest manager in Transnet at that time, because I was roughly 23. And heading a lot of people, or leading a lot of people. And from that alone, that showed that in my career path I'm not struggling. There's a lot of engineers that I started with that stayed more than 15 years in the same level.
Position,
So to me, even when I was working, there was too much progress in terms of my work. And that is one thing that helped me to discover that, no man, I can really stand on my own. Because while working for somebody, I did not need a push for me to do my work. I had responsibility. If you give me work, I did not really have to come back to you with reasons why certain things cannot be done. I will always find a reason why something has to be done. So that alone taught me something to say, even if you can start something for yourself, it means with your character traits, you can actually win on your own. I remember sometimes when I was really angry at some of my bosses, I would tell them, whoever who brought me to this position will see me through, even if this position can be stripped away from me, I can still make it, because I'm not this position. I didn't know that I was seeing this potential of I'm bigger than my position. But as when I progressed in my career, I moved from Transnet. I worked for roughly 10 years in Transnet, from 2008 up until 2016, 2017. I moved to metal denomination, and then I moved to DCD. So I really roughly worked 12 to 13 years for a person.
Okay. You said something that actually intrigued me when you said that when you were even picking the type of a qualification, you didn't want something that will keep you capped on one stream.
Yes.
You didn't want something that will, get you bored easily.
Yeah.
And that's a serious trait of entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs get bored. Entrepreneurs get bored easily. So they don't want to be kept. I remember the last interview I had with Sagani. She's like, I'm doing multiple businesses because I get bored easily. And so even to realize that I'm not a person that can be boxed in one thing, which is also another trait of an entrepreneur, because what a job does, they put you in a box and they say you're a teacher. You're gonna teach.
That's all you have to do
for the rest of
and that used to frustrate me a lot in
the
company that I was working in, where you are being told this is what you need to do. And if you find out some certain findings, you're not supposed to say it, because they already have an answer that they want you to find out. So I was like, no. this I'm not allowed to be myself. I'm not allowed to think out of the
Explore,
box. And I want to explore, and I'm very innovative. So I can't really do this. That's one of the things that made me to say, you know what. And I did not really have the guts first.
Yeah.
One thing that pushed me to start it. To start a business was in 2016. I did hit rock bottom.
Okay.
So where I was in a very dark space, and then I had to rediscover myself.
Yeah.
I had to introspect, to talk to me, basically. So while I was in that journey, I then talked with myself, had a meeting with myself, and said, right now that you're not this continuous improvement manager, you're no longer in Transnet, you're no longer in DCD, you're no longer in the metal diminution. Who are you as a person?
What do you want?
What do you want as a person?
Yeah.
Because back then I used to say, wow, I'm Hlayiseka Ngomane, I'm the manager from Transnet. But right now I've been stripped away from those titles and whatnot. What is left of me? Then I discovered, you know what, I'm bigger than those titles. I can start my own thing where I don't have to report to anybody. And the interest started when I discovered, while I was working for Transnet, I used to head in or lead training. It was that time where Transnet introduced continuous improvement, which is Lean Six Sigma. So in the region in Goodsport, I was the engineer who used to lead in terms of the presentations, in terms of ensuring that blue uniform day where all managers meet actually happens. And it was functioning quite well, and everybody was like surprised. How is a young guy, 23-year-old, able to pull this thing together? And from the compliments that I would get from the managers, senior managers, that taught me something or made me realize something, that actually there's something there. At that point in time, I did not know what is that thing, but they would come and say there is something there in this guy. I didn't know because I was really playful. I was out of control. But I would, when you find me at work during Monday till Friday, I'll be a different somebody. The things that I'll be doing, it will surprise you to see a young boy like this who does not have order. How is he able to pull this thing together? Then it showed me which if I really had order, I could do better than what I was doing. And even academically, I was moving from one qualification to the next. Why I was still that playful and not really having order. So that taught me to see if I can really focus and do my thing, I can go far.
I like what you said when you said that you were doing so well. I don't think as human beings we are taught to study ourselves, to study our strengths, and to say, actually, how do I monetize my strength? How do I make money from what I'm good at? You know, we actually focus on what we are not so really good at, because we usually have those performance appraisers at work, and then your boss will say this or this or that, or complaints that people say about you at work. Maybe they don't like the way you talk when you're annoyed because the deadline was not met or whatever the case may be. But I don't think we take time to zoom in into the good things, and not just zoom into it for the sake of being proud about it, or to go around and tell people I got a 4, I got a 5 at work for my performance appraisal score, but to say I'm really good at it, and what am I going to do about it? What value can I get out of this strength that I have? You know. And I love that you took some time to reflect and say, listen, wait a minute, I was actually so good at this, and out of that, you were able to turn that idea into gold. Which is amazing. Which is really, really amazing. Really amazing. Okay, so that's where you got your passion about training, because that's what you were doing. And again, the lesson there is that, you know, like life is a story. As you go on this journey, the dots just keep connecting. You didn't know at that time that, you know, like somehow God placed you there because you knew where He was taking you to. For you at that point, you thought, I'm just working, I'm just an engineer, but like He was building your storyline. And at some point, the dots started to connect, and you realized, wait, I'm good at this, and wait, I was in charge of this department, and this is how I need to go about it. Did you feel like there was a bit of resistance from your family members to say, maybe don't go in that direction, go back to the office, go back and do your 8 to 5? How did you deal with that? Didn't you find that there were questions raised even from your friends, people that you were expecting to support you, because I mean at the end of the day going to business is risky. Although doing 8 to 5 is also risky, you can be retrenched tomorrow, but for some reason people just feel or think that if you do an 8 to 5 you're much more safer than somebody who's into business. How was it for you? Did you get the necessary support, or you had to deal with the red flags that people were like, hey, are you sure about that? Or how was it for you?
I had to deal with those red flags. And let me just, from my friends, or the people that I used to call my friends,
your friends.
I got, because right now I really don't have friends, I'm really doing me. Anybody else that is close to me, we are working together. From the people that I had, you know how people are, they'll write you off. The moment when you're no longer working, you're no longer working with them, all of a sudden you guys are no longer
friends
connecting, you're no longer friends. I had to really toughen up and tell myself, this is me. Luckily, I'm strong. I do what I want to do. I don't do what people want me to do. If I tell myself this is it. Once I get convinced and get convicted about something, I go for it. So even when the rejection was there, it really didn't bother me, because I knew where I was going. From my family side, let me just talk about my father a bit. I remember she's in the health science, right? She'll tell me, that you need to submit your CV. Especially they are hiring. Maybe they will hire you, because our parents sometimes they don't understand if you can go to university, you get your diploma, your degree, or your honors, now you're doing your masters. How can you say you no longer want to work for somebody? So to them it was like, I'm sure they felt like I'm losing my mind, because you remember when you come with a vision, people tend to look at you and be like thinking, this one that is Amshia. They tend to talk a lot of things to say, maybe this one something is wrong with him, maybe mental health issues and whatnot. But they did not really know the conviction that I had in me that kept on pushing me and pushing me to say, this is it. Apart also from that, I did get support from my other family members on my aunt's side, where it was encouraging for me to see that at least I do have one or two people that believe, even if maybe they did have doubts there and there, but they would look at me and say, go for it, you can do it. So, but all of them right now, it's 5 years down the line, I'm telling you, with what I've been doing and what the progress that I've made, they wouldn't really choose anything for me. I bet even if I can say I'm going back to Transnet right now, I say don't, because they can see the progress in what I'm doing and the growth,
the impact, the
things that I've done so far. I was not able to do it when I was working. I could not, but right now I'm able to do it, and I'm at a space where every day it's just I feel like I'm dreaming about the things that are happening. I'm even thinking it's not me, because I never saw it coming. But I can do so much, and so much lives can be changed through what I'm doing in my life.
Okay. So do tell our viewers, what is your business all about? The growth that has happened in the 5 years. What are the new things that you guys are into right now? Because I know, but they don't know. So also take of it as an opportunity to market yourselves or market your business. So what is AR Business Consulting all about? How long you've mentioned the 5 years, but also mention the milestones that you guys have achieved in the 5 years.
Just to be simple about it, AR Business Consulting and Training Institute, it's a business that deals with business development, training and project execution. So I like to divide it into 3 dimensions or 3 levels, which is the development part of the business, and the training and the project execution. On the business development part, that's where we help entrepreneurs or people that aspire to become entrepreneurs with their businesses, to start their businesses, grow their business, expand their businesses in all levels. We don't choose. And on training side, that's where we train entrepreneurs and also people who are into careers or career people or people who are working, and also people who are coming from straight out from school who wants to venture into some other qualifications or some other programs. We also do training on that side. Our training department have, for now, we're doing occupational certificate qualifications, the level 5, and also some skills program. At the moment, we only have 3 qualifications that we are accredited on with QCTO, which is Project Manager NQF level 5, and OHS NQF level 5, and Bookkeeper NQF level 5. And we are in the process of accrediting software developer NQF level 5, and computer end user, it's a skills program, and a business consulting and office administration NQF level 5. So that is on the training side, and some soft skills that we do. If departments or other individuals require training on that, we do that. And our training, just to mention it, it's not just the bogus training. We are known from QCTO. You can check our accreditation. Whatever training that we're going to offer, the qualification comes straight from QCTO, meaning Department of Education knows about it. So one can really get jobs after we've trained them. And these qualifications has got a knowledge area, a practical area, and a workplace area. So even if you are a practical kind of a guy, you can come in, because of we don't operate like your traditional universities, which they do only
the theoretical part.
We also do the practical and the workplace, because most people, they really struggle with the theory part. So that is our training department. We also have the project execution department in our company, where we deal with continuous improvement projects, and also civil engineering projects, and electrical engineering project, and mechanical engineering projects, where we use Lean Six Sigma methodologies to assist companies with their inefficiencies or their operations in their day-to-day running of their businesses.
Again, there you are reaping your harvest from the seeds that you sow.
From the seeds that you sow. So I always tell people it was not a waste of time for me to have studied industrial engineering. Even right now, I'm busy finishing up my master's program. Yes, it's still on the engineering side, because of the project execution requires the engineering,
the technical side of engineering. So you need to understand it so you can help an engineering company. I know there are people these days that are not in support of people going to school. You know, when we're growing, they used to tell us education is the key to success. And then when you go to church, they will tell you education plus God is the key to success, which I believe and I support. But we do have a group of people that don't encourage people to go to school. They encourage people to go straight into business. What is your view about that?
Thank you for asking that question. I think I've stayed with one cousin of mine, don't, if you're listening to this. He doesn't like education, and most of the time we would always argue. One of the points that I tell him is, even in business, you need to be informed. I keep on upskilling myself. If you go to my CV, each and every year I make sure that I do at least minimum of 6 skills program to upskill myself, because in 2024 the same skill that we had in 2019 it's not longer relevant for now. So you need to constantly upskill yourself. So my words going straight to those that say you don't really need education is, if you are not educated, it's going to be difficult for you to thrive in your business because of every small details that you need to do in your business. You'll be hiring people. If you can't count, how are you going to know that your business is doing well? So you need to at least have an accounting base in your business so that you can see if your company is making money or not. If you are running at a loss, how are you going to know if you don't really?
You're clueless about accounting.
And I've also been talking to another guy saying, mostly here in Tulamanshi, people, when they've got the technical skills of certain things, they think they can do
everything
business. And you knowing how to cook to grow. So it's very important that even if you know you don't want to work for a person, go and get education so that you can understand how your business operates. There's a lot of people right now that are in business, but they can't tell you, even if you can say, tell me if you are making profit or not. They will ask you what is that? To them it's like they just working on the survival mode. So but if you plan to grow, or you are doing what you're doing not because of hunger, you want to grow it into something that is sustainable, something that is becomes a generational worth, or a business that you pass it on to your children. Make sure that you at least get the basics of entrepreneurship and that technical skill that you require. Hence, in our business, we offer entrepreneurship basic skills training for everybody else who wants to get into business, to say, this is a crash course, this is your finances, this is how you market your business, this is how you advertise your business in the social media, so that at least they have the basics.
That's interesting. I'm an academic and I know you are one, but what I don't like sometimes about academics is that they think in a specific way. For them, they think 8 to 5. They don't think outside the box. And sometimes also this group that doesn't like education hate those groups of academics. And I think we just need to balance the two. If you're an academic and you know you're passionate about business, think outside the box. You know, there's a book by Robert Kiyosaki that's titled Why A Students Work for the Average C Students. It's because the smart ones always want to be specialists in what they're doing. They don't think outside the box. They don't think, how can I monetize the fact that I'm so good in mathematics, or I'm so good in home economics, or I'm so good in engineering. Can I open a civil engineering company? It's usually your average students that would think, let me go open a construction company and do this. Whereas your A students is thinking, I want to go up the ladder, I want to be a chief engineer. So I think we just need to balance the two. These ones must learn how to master a skill, and education is not bad, and it does not always have to be the formal education. Like, we have a lot of information that's available that you can use to empower yourselves, and necessarily go through the traditional way of going through a varsity. And I think we just need to balance the two, basically.
And I always say, people, they get qualifications, but then they are not educated. In Songa, I would say, bajonzile but abajonzekanga. Meaning the paper is there. Hlayiseka has got a master's in engineering, but his decisions that he's making does not show which there's masters behind his decision-making skills. So hence people that can think, they look at those ones that are educated and be thinking, how can you say you've got masters but you still
we don't want to be like you.
We don't want to be like that. And even him, he looks at them and be thinking. So it's just that we all need to balance,
strike the balance,
the balance, and once we strike the balance, you'll see something better. Since I'm doing business, my perspective has changed. There are certain things that I used not to pay attention to, but right now I'm telling you, you leave me in a room, when I come out of that space, everybody that was in that room is already in my contact, which is networking. When I was working, I was like this.
There was no
if
need.
you're not in my department, you're not in my department. I don't need
What
to
do
know
I have to do with you?
what do I have to do with you?
Yeah.
Kind of attitude. So, but with business, it teaches you, would say, your net worth. It's equivalent to your net worth.
Yeah.
So the amount of people you have in your contact list are the people that will take you to the next level.
Yeah.
So you can't really afford to miss that.
Yeah. So that's all right. I've been watching your business from a distance, although now I'm staying in another province, and I must say I'm proud of you guys, and I've told you before, you guys are doing so well. And I'm excited about the new programs that you have, your project management program and OHS qualifications, amongst others.
Yeah.
And why am I excited? Because I work in that space. I know what a qualification in project management can do for someone who's an engineer, or what it can do for somebody who wants to go and grow in different sectors, in mining, in the health sector. Project management is just a skill that's required in many industries. So I want to say again, well done for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Can you tell our viewers how your business has grown? And I've seen you are in different provinces right now, your biggest milestones, and I also want you to talk about the impact that you're making on the community in terms of how many lives have you impacted in terms of numbers through this program. And I think those are some of the beautiful impact that you are doing as an entrepreneur.
I think one of the milestones that we have achieved so far, we are now in 3 different provinces.
Wow.
We are in Cape Town, we are in Gauteng, and we are in Mpumalanga, of which we have existingly 5 branches.
5 branches
so in
Mpumalanga,
5 years, yes. In Mpumalanga there's 3 branches. In Gauteng there's 1. In Cape Town there's 1. During these 5 years of AR business existence,
which is exceptional.
And we have managed to also partner with SEDA. Small Enterprise Development Agency as their access point in Bushbuckridge branch. Meaning if you don't have the time or you stay far from Hazelview, you don't really have to worry. You can come to one of our branches, whether in Drasloop or Tulamanch or Economic. We can do what SEDA branch can assist you with, because we work with them. And this is the 2nd year in running. We started working with SEDA in 2023. This is the 2nd year. And we are also their service provider. We do training for them. We also do business plans for them. We also do bookkeeping for them. We also do financial training for them. We do lots of things for SEDA. That is also one of our milestones. And through the 5 years of us being in existence, we've partnered with SAGRA, which is a South African Graduate Council, through the skills development program or internship and leadership program. While we worked with SAGRA, we managed to partner with more than 10 sitters. Your bank sitter, your theater, your TITA, your facet, your LG sitter, your NSF, just to mention few. And we've managed to employ more than 100 learners on leadership programs year to date. And all those learners, we're touching lives through that leadership program. Because if you employ one person, that person maybe it's feeding minimum of 4 to 5 people in his or her family.
Times 100. That's
times
huge.
100. So it's really huge. And we didn't only partnered with those organizations, but we also partnered with NASA. This is an upcoming program. It's also gonna cater for the leadership programs.
Okay.
Because with internship programs, we're only focusing on the graduates or people who want to graduate, or people that went to colleges or universities.
Yeah.
But next year, we're going to start also taking matrics.
Yeah.
And on that program, so far, we have managed to enroll more than 110.
Wow.
And next year, January, these 110 are starting with us on the learnership program. So each and every year, we keep on increasing the numbers. And the people that we work with, the partnerships that we have with them, keep on getting better and better, and they are mostly satisfied with our work. Hence, we just got awarded an awards via Tita and Sagra and Theatre for us to have hosted their learners. On Theatre, we had roughly 40 learners. So their internship ended in October. So they were appreciating us for having stayed with those learners for the period of 12 months. On Theatre, it hasn't really ended yet. It's going to end next year, April. So we're also hoping for other partnerships, because currently we are on facet program with Sagra, and that took more than 40 learners, and all these learners are all in our branches. So it is a huge milestone for me, and having accredited those qualifications with QCTO, it's not a child's play. Those that are in the training and education sector will tell you it's not an easy task that you can just do. So it shows that each and every year we keep on cementing our space in all
different industries.
Different industries.
Which is amazing. You guys are doing so well. You've achieved a lot for somebody who has been in business in 5 years, and I'm sure there were challenges. What are some of those challenges that you guys faced, and how did you guys overcome?
Challenges are there each and every day. I think one of the challenges that I've faced, it's a black to black hate. That's what I'm seeing a lot. Recently I had to strengthen up on my HR side, where I used to also do that, but I said no, I no longer need to involve myself on that. So you employ somebody in your business, but just because of you're a black person, the level of respect that you get from your fellow brothers and sisters, it's not the same like if I was a white person. So you can see that we are not used to having one of our own people leading. The kind of demands that a black person would make in a black owned business is not really the same one that you would make in a white owned business. Like for example, I remember when we started in Transnet, we stayed roughly, it's a big company, I stayed roughly 2 years, or not 2 years, man, 2 months to 3 months without not having my own designated laptops. But in a black owned business like this, one person would really be asking you about where's my desktop on the first day when you arrive. And then you ask yourself, if even big companies, when you arrive on the first day, they don't really have that desk, what do you expect out of it? So we are not, from me to you, we are not ready to listen that you are still starting, you still want to grow. We come with all sort of judgments. That is one of the obstacles that I've faced so far. But and also the access to the market. It's quite not easy to break in. It needs consistency. Hence, every day I push. Those that have seen me move in action, every day I push. I bring my 150 every day. So, meaning if I was just relaxed, bringing in my 20, there was no way that we would be where we are. We are where we are because of I put more than 100% to the business, and whatever that I plan, I ensure that I get it executed. I don't wait or postpone it for the next day, because you don't know what's going to happen on the next day.
So most banks or finances that fund small businesses, they're not keen to find a business that has not been in existence for 2 years.
Yes.
Because they're saying the first hardest time to do business is the first 2 years, and if a business can succeed or survive that first 2 years, then they'll fly. Would you say it was the same for your business? Was the first 2 years harder, or you guys were just sailing through?
Yeah. If you talk about the first 2 years of me being in business, it was the hardest. 2019 was the hardest. 2020 it started showing some growth, but it was not really tangible. I would understand, would say there is growth, but another person who's just watching from the distance would not pinpoint the growth. The third year kept on having some improvements. I remember my wife should really ask me, sometimes you must send back your CV, because she would say, yes, I see you are pushing, but there's really nothing tangible. And I know when you were working, you were making so much, so really survive. Why don't you think of getting back into the industry? But as the leader of my company, I would see, no, I am pushing something, and I can see something it's breaking loose, and it's coming. On the fourth year, that's when I started relaxing and be thinking, this is it. I'm no longer sending a CV somewhere, whether you're coming or you're a big company. I'm not doing that. But in the first 3 years, I was a bit skeptical about should I not. Right now, from where I am, even if you can come with whatever offer, I wouldn't really take it, because I know I've worked so much to get to where I am, and it's now the evidence of what I've been working for, or the evidence of what I've worked for a long time. Now I can touch it and feel it. So it's no longer I'm hoping. It's no longer faith now. I can feel and touch it.
You no longer believe in
it. So the first 5 years, that is the testing part. If I may say, I can't really say 2 years, because in 2 years it was really still tempting. I was not really much sure. But now where I am, there's no turning back. We're no longer turning back. It's 100%. We're doing this with or without anybody's support. Whether you believed in me or you did not believe in me, it's fine. My belief in me, it's good enough to take me to the next 5 years or to my 10 years.
So in short, you're confirming the theory. You're actually saying it's beyond 2 years.
Yeah, it's actually beyond 2 years.
2 years is not even the whole thing.
Even the stats tells you, would say, black businesses in the first 5 years, they fall off. Usually too, because of access to finance or funding or all of that, or support or even training, they end up closing their businesses. But after 5 years, it's much easier for you to go into
overcome most of the challenges.
Like me right now, you can't tell me to say, come to Joburg, we're gonna give you so much. I would say, I'm fine.
Okay, we have 2 questions before we conclude the interview, which is linked to my previous question. What would your advice be to somebody that wants to go into business and probably maybe they're not employed and they've been waiting for so long for the job market to open and it's not happening? So I want you to speak to that specific group. But I also want you to speak to a specific group, to somebody that's earning a good check. But they know that
that's not what they want.
Like they have passed the chapter. You know, like when you overstay a chapter, like the chapter is expired. They know that they need to go into business, and that's where their future is, that's where their destiny is. But there's just a lot of doubts. They're not sure if they should jump the ship. So what would your advice be to those 2 groups of people?
The first one is the one that
no job.
The second one is the one that has got a job, but they feel like they've overstayed their welcome, they've reached the expiry date on working. One thing that I can say for the first one that has got no job is when you go into business, they really have to prepare to where they are going into. Because sometimes being employed is much simpler than being your own boss or maybe having your own company.
Yeah.
So if they couldn't really get a job, meanwhile they wanted to get a job, they're struggling to get a job.
Yeah.
Chances are they might not make it in business because of you really require much more than when you are an employee.
Yeah.
When I was still working, I just required to wake up in the morning and go to work. Okay, switch it off when I come back. But in business, 24 hours a month,
7 days a week.
7 days a week. So they must ask themselves if they've got a character traits of a leader, of somebody who is his own boss, the discipline.
Yeah.
Because one thing that kills us is you start a business but you're not disciplined enough for you to manage yourself.
Yeah.
You would see, like what I just said earlier on when I started, I said, I could see in me when you give me a task as an employee, when they used to give me a task, I would finish it. Even if I did not understand how to carry that task, I would invest my knowledge into finding out how to do it, not come back to the manager and say, but I can't do this, this is the reason why I can't do it. So that showed the responsibility I have.
Yeah.
So even if when it's my company, I can carry it through.
Yeah.
So he needs to ask himself if he's got responsibility, if he
has the
discipline, can he push?
Yeah.
Can he go out of his comfort zone to ensure that his dream succeed?
Yeah.
That's what you need, the push. I usually say to artists and say talent alone it's not enough. You need more than talent for you to make it. So even that person who just wants to start business because of maybe he's not finding employment, he should think twice and say, if I'm unable to do a good CV, send it to the employers to secure an interview, market myself. Am I going to be able to grow a business? Because that requires a lot. Hence, we don't see a lot of municipalities outside.
What about the one that wants to jump ship, yet the good check is tempting?
The one that wants to jump ships, if I were to advise a young me who was already in the corporate, wanting to start a business, I would say, don't take your package and say, I'm going to business tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start your compliance while you are working. Start trading while you are still at work, so that the day when you put in your tools, you put your tools down, you're just changing an office space. So instead of you going to company A, you're now going to company B, and moving from one environment to another. But you're already trading as for example, as AR. People know you. There's a market they're waiting to buy from your business. Because what happens is, if you take your package and say you're going to start a business, you still have to go the 5-year road, whereby you have to start on your network, people to know you. So if you at least started 5 years before you actually quit your work, the day when you jump ships, people know you. So it's going to be much easier. So you won't really have to wait for a year for you to make your first sale. I'm telling you, for my first day in business, I wouldn't really even make 5,000.
Sure.
I wouldn't really even make 5,000. I remember in 2020 when I came back to Mpumalanga, Cedar in Joburg, they offered me a job. But when I looked at the paycheck, it was like, I couldn't believe here to Mpumalanga, to Gauteng on that paycheck. It was even less than what I was getting when I was working in my previous job. But it was tempting because of I was comparing what I'm making in business and what they're offering me. So that will help you to do quite well when you started while you are still working. Although I know you cannot really excel much because of your time, your work commitment, but at least you would have a belt in network. People know about you. You won't really reintroduce yourself. Unlike you quit today, you're still starting to do a logo. You're still gonna have to go for the whole 2 years to sink it in to say there's actually this business.
Yeah, that's a good one. We've seen a lot of retirees that take their pensions to go and do business, and they fail dismally.
Yeah.
And it's quite painful to watch somebody, because you're trying to think, if you couldn't do business for the past 58 years, 60 years,
what would make you do business now?
But people do it.
What would make you do business now?
People do it. People take their hard-earned money that they've worked for the whole of their lives, go through into, they know nothing about business.
Yeah.
And
I also think it's them not asking. People would rather come to me now after these 5 years and say, wow, you are doing good.
Yeah.
But they were not there when I was posting, wanting people to share my things. That was the hardest part.
Yeah.
So they really don't ask the hard part of entrepreneurship. They ask the glitz and glamour. Oh wow, you've got 100 employees. It means I can do it. But they don't know the challenges for us to have been, that we went through it.
Yeah.
And it did not come overnight. People, they need to believe in you. They need to have seen that you are committed for them, to trust you with such responsibility. Because we're talking money here. For somebody else to be paying salaries of more than 100 people, and then it means they trust you and they know you're capable of delivering that which you're supposed to deliver on. Yeah.
It's a good one. Okay. So I want us to close. I want to talk about the future of your business.
Yes.
And I also want you to talk about where can the people reach you, because you've advertised yourself.
Yes.
And this is a digital platform that people are going to be watching. If somebody says, I want to be a project manager, or I want to partner with you actually, or I want my business to come and partner with you, we want to learn about Sigma, or we want to learn more about continuous improvement. So I want you to speak to that as the last part of my question. The first part of my question is, what does the future look like, and then how can people reach you?
The future looks bright. In fact, I'm scared. There's these people that you usually like to say, if your dreams does not scare you, then you're not dreaming, and that's me. Because the things that comes to my mind, sometimes I think I'm losing it. My wife usually she will say, "Hey, you think you are it, ne? The things that you tell me," but she later on says, whatever that you say, you work hard for it, for it to materialize. That's me. So the future for me looks bright in a sense that we are in a process of building the AI Business Consulting and Training Institute, where we'll have the training site, which is the training center, because we want to accommodate apprenticeship, people that are coming from the college to do their training so that they can get their trade. And we, on the training side, we're also gonna be training people on project management. So we'll build the actual scope where we will be doing training on that. That is the plans for 2025. The plans are already finalized, they are finished. We also have 4 hectares just here in Edinburgh, that where we're going to build the business. And that is part of the plan. I can't really share much into it.
I think that's enough.
That's enough.
How can people reach you?
People can reach us we've got different social media platforms. We have the Facebook page, we have the Instagram page, we also have the LinkedIn page. All of those pages, we go by the name AI Business Consulting and Training Institute. And we also have a YouTube channel. Guys, you must go there and subscribe. Our YouTube channel is AI Business Consulting and Training Institute.
Which is this one. And also, they can also find us in our website, AI Business Consulting and Training Institute. That's where they will also find the courses that we are offering. Some of the courses that we are offering, we're going to offer them hybrid. They can do them wherever they are. Online, whether you are in Gauteng, distance, it's not a problem. You can register and then go online, and then we teach you everything that you need to be taught. Awesome.
And then they can also reach us from 064 002 0504, also on WhatsApp. on WhatsApp, we use that number. On email, they can get us in. If you wanna call a Tulamanje branch, you go Tulamanje at arbusiness.co.za. If you are in Pretoria, you say Pretoria at arbusiness.co.za. If you are in Draslo, like that. So you use the branch.
The name of the city,
Yes, the name of the city, and then
ar.co.za.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What a beautiful journey to hear from an entrepreneur. Right from the start to where you started and to where you are now, and we want to wish you all the best. And you're really, really doing so well, and I can see, like you said, the future is really, really bright. Yeah. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of that interview. And I really hope that you learned from the interview that we had today that great things take time to build, that do not give up on your dreams. Take the time that you need to work on yourself. If you do want to learn and develop yourself in the programs that our Mr. Director has mentioned, please go ahead and click on those links that he mentioned. Improve yourself. If you want to learn as a project manager, go ahead and get in touch. Or if it's OHS for you, or if you are an existing business and you want to build your business, you want to expand, this is the man of the moment for you. Or if you want to start a new business, you haven't registered, this is also the man for you. And for me, Mackenzie, I can also be found on social media. My name is Official Mackenzie. I also have a YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen, which is called I Can with Mackenzie. Until we meet next time, thank you for today and keep well. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.